people of Earth. The following podcast is not real, and my favorite holiday is almost here. That's right, Secret Lesson Eve, where children arrive at the door in sloppy homemade costumes, and I see how long they're willing to wait while I search for candy I don't actually have, while offering them helpful little observations and learnings. Like, all the Snickers bars in the world aren't as sweet as catching up with an old friend. And my favorite kind of movies are called books. Oh, they're little expressions when you say, I guess I left those turtle brownies in my other house. But maybe the real treat was the words I've offered. That is the look of eventual gratitude. So, while we count the minutes, let's sit back and enjoy the show.
Hello from the Magic Tavern, a weekly podcast from the magical land of Foon. I'm your host, Arnie Niekamp, the greatest warrior in all of Foon, the greatest lawyer in all of Foon, and also a permabuddy of the Red Queen Merzia. If you've never listened to the podcast before, this is everything you need to know. 8.5 years ago, I fell through a dimensional portal behind a Burger King in Chicago into the magical, fantastical land of Foon. Luckily, I'm still getting a Wi-Fi signal from the Burger King through the dimensional rift, and I use that to upload a podcast recorded here in the Tavern, the Strange Familiar, in the town of Nibblebottom, at the base of the unnameable mountain in the magical land of Foon. And I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Usidore the Blue.
I am Usidore, wizard of the 12th realm of Ephesius, master of light and shadow, manipulator of magical... Arnie, can I just say, that was a really good opening. Yeah. And you know what I think the difference was?
What's that?
No one interrupted you.
Nobody interrupted me. It's true. Usually I have a hard time getting through that whole thing. Usually the only thing interrupting me is my own ability to not take a breath more often.
Well, I did notice you were gasping for air at points. Our listeners can't see that, the way you sort of hunch over and take in a deep breath and attempt to catch your breath just in time to keep speaking.
It sometimes takes me about an hour and a half to get through that opening, and we edit that down.
But we must call out the giraffe with the boat for legs in the room and say that Chunt isn't here this week.
Yeah. Do we feel like the audience will notice? It's kind of a little bit of a bummer to talk about. Should we just pretend that he's here? Or?
I'll just get it out on the table.
Okay.
Chunt died.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But
he's fine.
Like a week's worth of being dead.
Yes, he got hurt very badly, which in Foon sometimes we say, you died a little bit.
Yes.
But now he's healing and he's doing better. But it's Chunt for Red October season. So of course he was raising blood for needy vampires. And some of those vampires were a little needier than they should have been, and they bit him a little bit, but he won't be a vampire. We took care of all of that. He'll be fine.
In retrospect, it was probably a mistake to do Chunt for Red October so close to Castle Hawkspire, where there are just now millions and millions of vampires in there. Things just got out of control.
That's right. We should just douse that place with garlic.
I know. We should have just been running around, shooting our arrows. Look, we are classic vampire survivors. We should have learned our lessons.
That's very true. I just want one of those axes that you throw up in the air and just sort of falls down. Those are fun.
Usidore, can I ask? The whole thing about telling people they've died just a little bit. Do doctors ever come in or whatever, medicine men come in and say, well, I've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is you died. The bad news is a lot. You're really, really dead.
Yes, the degree to which you're dead it greatly affects the way the doctors give you news. If you died a lot, they won't give you news at all because you're dead. But if you died just a little bit, they might come in and be like, I'm so sorry, you died. Some.
The worst thing about the tragedy that happened at Chunt for October, which Chunt will be completely better by next week.
Maybe.
Or let's play it out. Let's see how people react.
Let's see where it goes.
Maybe we learned that it's okay.
Oh, but Arnie, I know you are on a constant quest for content. So fear not. Usidore has come to fill the hole left here by Chunt.
Oh, I don't like like that.
Yea, I have for you found a new charity, even greater than the Chunt for Red October. Yea, I have found a put-together person who's from the Lend a Limb Foundation. Sir, please come join us at the table, won't you?
Yes, of course. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Well, we're very excited to have you on and learn all about you, the wonderful work that you are doing. And this is, of course, my friend Arnie. He's from
Hi.
Earth.
I'm from another world.
Oh, hello. Wow, Earth.
Hi.
That's pretty interesting.
I think so. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm so sorry we haven't met before, I don't think. Although, I gotta be honest with you, we could have met before and I forgot. Like, I meet a lot of people. You know, I've kind of become kind of an important person in this world. I don't know why I'm really derailing just getting to know you.
No, that's fine. Just go ahead. Talk about yourself. It's fun.
So I'm from another world, and so that makes me pretty interesting. And then I accidentally killed the greatest warrior in all of Foon, so now I'm the greatest warrior in all of Foon. And if that isn't enough,
Technically.
I also defeated his brother, the greatest lawyer in all of Foon. So now I'm a lawyer too. I got so much going on. I can't even tell you.
That's a lot. Oh, man.
Yeah. You just got a face. I just want to, like, tell you things. Like, you're just very personable.
Thank you. Well, I'm a lot of persons because I'm a put-together person. I don't know if you've ever met a put-together person before.
I don't know.
But we are put together from a lot of different pieces of other people's bodies, and then we are reanimated into life.
Okay.
Were you personally reanimated by a necromancer or some sort of mad science person or someone else entirely?
It was a mad science person who also dipped his toe in alchemy a little bit, but he wasn't that great at it, you know. So that's why I think he went into the put together people business. He put me together. Oh my God! Wow, now it's like this is crazy. Like 10 years ago.
Oh. Wow.
Time flies.
Yes.
But you know, so I was put together 10 years ago, and he reanimated me into being alive again, which I didn't like at first. I'm going to be honest. It is very jarring to have been dead and then come back to life somewhere where you didn't die.
Of course.
In like in a laboratory type setting, and then also not have all your original parts.
Right. So I have to ask, friend. Oh, that reminds me. I'm sorry. What was your name again?
Oh yes, my name is No.
Oh, what an interesting name. How did you come to have such a sobriquet?
Well, so basically, I freaked out when I was, I guess you could call it born again, and then I tried to escape, and I jumped out a window, and as I was doing it, the mad scientist was yelling, "No! Come back!" So I assumed that No was my name.
So then is come back your last name?
No, he was telling me to come back.
Oh, I see.
My last name's Peterson.
No, Peterson. Okay, I see. Well, that's a fascinating tale of being born. I have to ask,
I'm so sorry
though.
to interrupt you, Usidore.
How dare you?
It's very important to pronounce people's names the way that they want them to be pronounced. So
Yeah, because it's not No. That's my father. I'm just kidding. I don't know who my father is. It's probably it's more like my father's. My name is pronounced No.
No, Peterson. Of all the people, you'd think I'd be the one that would do that.
You would think so.
No, I have to ask you.
Yes.
When you say you're reborn, reanimated, is there a central figure that you remember being from your past life, or are you kind of an amalgamation of those former lives?
Well, since there's only one part of me that has a brain, there's only really one life. So, like, the arms and the legs and the other parts really don't inform anything other than maybe, like, my right arm's really jacked. So my right arm must have been some sort of, like, bodybuilder or something. Or, worked manual labor in a mine or something. But I don't remember any of that. So it's all just guesses. But, for my brain and head, that's where I get it's like a whisper of a memory of who I used to be.
Oh, Okay.
Yeah, are there flashes of things you remember? Like clues?
Yes, and they come at the strangest times. Like I don't have any control over it. It's just like a picture, and usually because it's my memory, it's pictures of other people. So it's weird because it doesn't really help me know who I was. It's just like it helps me know who I was around, I guess. There's a woman that comes in a lot that I think was my wife. And she's gorgeous. I mean, from the flashes that I see, she's gorgeous. Thank you. My body must not have looked my head, the rest of my, because my head's not that great. I'm going to be honest. You can see it. It's a little bit,
I don't know if I would say that. It's hard to tell from, there's a certain amount of, let's just say it, decomposition.
You don't have to. I get it, but thank you.
Your head is on a little bit of a weird angle. Like
he did not do a good job. I think I might have been his first put together person.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, well, anyway, I just wanted to say that I've learned that those past parts of my life don't make me who I am anymore, because I could have been a real a-hole back then, and now I decided that my new rebirth, my new reanimation is a whole new person, and that's why I dedicated my life to charity.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's about who you are now, not who you were then. You've learned and you've grown, and you've literally put together a new version of yourself. Now you're the best possible version of yourself.
Well, I mean, someone else put together a new version.
Okay. Well,
to be
semantics.
fair, not to be.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't me. I'll tell you what. If I put myself together, I definitely would have given myself smaller feet, because it is god awful to try and find boots for these things.
Those things, I gotta say, they're not only are they big, but they're big in different ways. Like they're clearly not the same.
One is big,
big
like
feet.
wide, big, and short, and the other one's long and thin. It is a dickens of a time trying to walk.
Why, I'm certain that it is. But you say you're doing this wonderful charitable work now. Tell us more about how you're getting limbs for put-together people.
Yes, so some put-together people, this is a big misconception that when you're a put-together person, the scientist or alchemist puts you together completely before he reanimates you. Sometimes that's true.
I see.
But more often than not, most put-together people don't have all their parts.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's because, parts are hard to come by these days. And also it's illegal to go into, like, cemeteries and such to steal parts.
Well, I guess technically it's illegal, but it's certainly frowned upon. But, sometimes when you need a part, you just go and get the part that you need.
That is very true. But some of these, I'm going to be honest with you, some of these, they're kind of fly-by-night, put-together people, doctors. They don't really know what they're doing. And sometimes they just don't have, they get a hand, but they don't get the forearm. So it'll just be like a hand on, like, the upper part of an arm on one side, and then sometimes this is the hardest part for us. Sometimes it's animal parts. So it could be like on the left arm is just like a donkey leg,
The left arm is a donkey leg. Yes. That is a tragedy.
Yes, because what are you going to do with that hoof? You can't, you can't pick anything up with it. I at least have all human parts.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask, well, do the mad science people, do they sometimes just get impatient and they're like, I'm half done, but I just gotta turn this thing on and see what happens?
I'm not a big fan of them.
Okay.
I do think that they tend to, they get a little whipped up and just, they go mad.
It's in the name. It's right there in the name.
Sure.
And that they're not making good choices at that point. It's just about making choices.
Yeah.
Well, I would have to say, too, though, to play devil's advocate for a moment, not that I would ever put together a person and try to reanimate them.
Wait, Usidore. I'm sorry. No, will you excuse us for just a moment?
Sure. I'll be right back.
Get a drink at the bar.
Well, you know what? That's so great. Our guests, usually we have to walk away from the table. I love that finally we have a guest that they walk away while we're talking to each other. Usidore, you had to have been a mad science person at some point, or maybe just like a magic version of that, right?
Right, I'm more into the alchemy, necromancery side. I've dabbled in it. I think it's despicable. I hate Dripfang, but I respect him. But I'm never really a necromancer. But yeah, you try out different things. I put some cats back together and a couple people, but nothing big.
Do you ever just do a combination and you're just sort of like, what's the wildest I could get with this? Or do you ever just kind of Monster Factory it?
Well, yeah. Sometimes you just see how far you can push those sliders.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Oh, I think he's coming back. His timing is great.
I didn't know what you wanted to drink, but I wanted to get you something, so I got us all ale. I thought that was safe. A safe bet.
Yeah.
A wonderful choice, and I thank thee for this wonderful boon. But let us enjoy our ales while we take a quick break. Fly, you fools! Over to patreon.com/Magic Tavern right now and become a patron of the show. For only $5 a month, you get access to all of our wonderful bonus content and material and ad-free versions of the show.
So, no! And again, am I saying that right?
Oh, that was perfect.
Oh, thank you. Where does the Peterson come from?
Here's the funny thing. Sometimes some of our pieces come with clothing. And it was written in my underwear. Oh, brother. What do you know? And Peterson, I assumed Peterson would not be it could be a couple things. It could be my last name. It could be my first name, but I don't think that. And it also could be Peter's son, if it's a kid's underwear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought, Peterson.
That would be a strange way to mark your underwear if you were a child.
Yeah.
I am Peter's son, and this is my underwear.
Well, I don't know. In some ways it makes sense. If you find someone's shoes or something, let's say, getting it back to the kid is probably easier to get it back to the adult.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, you lose your underwear somewhere, and, you're not going to want to bring that to a kid. That'll get you in trouble.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, speaking of losing your underwear, you've carved out a new life for yourself. No.
Master of the segue.
No, I was going to say outside of your charity work, how's your personal life? Are you seeing anyone? Are you romantically entangled? Is it complicated?
Well, I'll tell you something. I am seeing someone, and with two different types of eyes. That's a little put-together person joke. I have a blue eye and a green eye, as you can see.
Wait, your head is put together? I'm so sorry to interrupt. Your head is put together.
Well, yes, just certain parts of it. I think the green eye is original. Mm-hmm. I think the blue eye might have been how I was killed in the first place.
Oh.
So I think, might have been a spike, might have been a spider and climbed in there. I don't know. But he had to put a new a blue eye in there for me.
Is there any chance that there's still a spider somewhere in there in your head?
Oh, my God, yes. I think I'm lousy with spiders because I don't eat. I don't have to eat. It's a weird, so I'm sure there are creatures inside of me just running around in there because I do hear noises like the gurgling noises that I used to get when I used to eat. I hear those, so I'm assuming it might be like a rat or spiders or something in there.
Is it that you choose not to eat, or you just have no need for fuel at all?
It's a little bit of both. I don't necessarily need the nutrients since I am undead. Secondly, though, it's just, I don't have the desire. I don't know why. It's just not, I see food. It makes me, it just doesn't do anything for me anymore.
Is it possible you're just depressed?
Isn't everyone a little depressed?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. There's a whole depressed version of me that lives in my hat.
I'd like to meet him someday.
Oh, no, you wouldn't. He's terrible.
Oh, okay.
Usidore?
That's right. And even though you don't eat, you've brought us these wonderful ales, and frankly, I love these steins.
My friend, I am a drinker.
Oh, okay.
And I'll tell you what, it takes a lot for me to get drunk, but I get there, if you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
No longer interested in eating, drinking a lot, needs to drink a lot.
I crave alcohol.
Okay.
That doesn't seem like a problem to me. Well, I think that the best thing, if you'd like to, take a moment and tell us a little bit more about the charity work that you're doing, we'd love to hear about it, and then we'll learn more about you again.
Yeah, sure. I'll talk about that. The charity's name is Lend a Limb.
Good name.
Yes, I came up with it myself. So, Lend a Limb is basically a charity for any put-together person who doesn't have the parts that they should. Now, the one thing that I will say is weird about the name is that it's not really like we're lending it because we don't want it back. We don't want that back. But we do facilitate all of the finding of the limb, the attachment of the limb, and or the detachment of the defective limbs or pieces. And then we have registered nurses who go and check in for at least a month or two after to make sure that the new limb is taking.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Because sometimes a put-together person rejects all of its parts.
All of them? What does that look like?
There was a friend of mine. He's no longer with us, but he was a put-together person, and all of his parts rejected each other, and it was a slow and painful process of them just falling off and shriveling up until just all the pieces fell off.
Oh, I remember you told me this story before when I first met you, and you said that your friend's name was I've Done It!
Yes. I've Done It was really... He was a kind soul.
What did it say in I've Done It's underwear?
I do know that his last name was also Peterson. So we didn't know if we were somehow related, or if we were like brothers who also had this, like if it was twin kids who had underwear. I don't know. It could have just been some weird guy named Peterson who donated all his underwear to charity, and then that's where we found
I
it.
hate to ask so many underwear-related questions, but...
No, that's fine.
No, you don't.
Oh, I should do an after show that's just all underwear questions.
Sure.
So the printing of Peterson, does it look like, how nice is it written in the underwear? And I assume in the waistband or on the label?
Yes, well, that's the interesting thing, because it's not actually like written in. It was actually sewn in.
Okay.
It was a thread that was done. Let me show you here. Just look right there.
Oh.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? It's like
Embroidered, lovely.
Huh.
it's someone who was truly committed to their craft.
This is your one pair of underwear?
Yes, I only have one pair of all clothes.
Maybe we should start a new branch of Lend a Limb that's lend some underwear. It's not alliterative, it's not as nice. We'll think of a better name for it.
Share some underwear?
Well, no, I don't need
That's pretty good.
like I said, I don't eat, so I don't ever poop. For lack of a better term, I don't ever poop.
There are some stains in there, though. I will say that.
There were things in there? Was there a spider?
Maybe, you know what? Maybe it was a crushed spider. I was just in this. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't bring this up.
It could also be flesh.
Yeah.
That is one of the other problems. Even if your body doesn't reject yourself, the flesh just does. I mean, it's just going to drop off every once in a while.
Yes, I wanted to ask a little more about Lend a Limb. You mentioned, of course, that the donors wouldn't actually be getting those limbs back, so it's a bit of a misnomer, but that's fine. I, as a wizard, when I die, I'll turn into a shaft of pure light and flame into the heavens. Ooh. But Arnie here, he'll have lots of limbs left over. Arnie, have you thought about becoming a limb donor?
I guess I have. I mean, back on Earth, I was an organ donor.
Well, all you have to do is sign this form right here. Isn't that right? No!
Yes, that is correct. We have a form here where you can, it just states that you are, when you meet your demise, you are fine with us taking any of your limbs to put on a put-together person.
But I see that there's a little bit of fine print under there that says you only have to give up one limb now.
Yes.
And the rest you'll get after they die.
That is correct.
That might be a deal breaker for me. I'm going to be honest.
Really?
So thank you, because I never read the fine print, so I really would have regretted that if I'd signed this immediately.
It's just one limb right now. It doesn't even have to technically be a limb. I assume people need ears and things like of that nature.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we need ears. We need ears and noses. Noses and ears are behind arms are the biggest with things we need.
You know what? I'm so sorry. Like, my eyesight isn't what it used to be. Probably someone should lend me their eyes. But there's even more fine print under that other fine print.
That's a little disrespectful.
Sorry, I was trying to relate.
It just, I understand, but you might not be around too many put together people, but
I'm just saying we've all got problems.
All right.
Okay. All right.
What's the fine print you saw?
Yeah, I can't read this other fine print underneath the first set of fine print.
Oh, yes. So all that says, if you get out like a magnifying glass or something, it says, if you end up being a put-together person, all your parts will be returned to you.
Oh, so that's a nice one.
That's pretty good.
I don't know why we put that in the fine print, because I think people would be more prone to do it if they saw that. But yeah, I don't make these. That's not my department.
How often does that happen where, like, a put-together person is like, oh, thank goddesses, I have this new arm, but then their arm gets repoed by the original person?
It happens, not as much as you'd think, but it does happen.
Well, but then that person can go back to lend a limb.
Yes, exactly. We have a process where and we make it seamless so that when the person...
I can see all the seams. It's not seamless. I can see where you're all sewn together.
Oh, yes. See, now that's the kind of humor I like.
Well, you didn't say about any of the other jokes that we might have said so far this episode.
Well, no,
This is a very serious topic. No one's making jokes, Arnie.
Oh, sorry.
We're trying to raise limbs.
So, yes, if a person needs to give up their limb back to the original owner of the limb, they come in and we already have a new limb ready for them so that when they're giving the old limb, the new old limb is then put on.
Well, that's wonderful. That's perfect.
We've tried to think of every single situation.
Now, I know Arnie has waded into some uncomfortable territory, and I apologize for his very poor behavior, but I may need to ask a question that's also just as insensitive, but I hope you'll understand.
I know where this might be going, but go ahead.
I'm trying to overcome my ignorance, but...
No, that's fine.
And if he's wrong about where you think this is going, I also want to hear what you think he's saying afterwards.
Absolutely. Let's keep that in the back pocket.
Yes.
What the hell's going on with the things on your neck?
Oh, that was not what I thought he was going to ask about.
Are those like screws and nuts? What are those? What's going on?
Yes. Well, they're bolts.
Ah, okay.
And what they do is that is how at least my particular mad scientist electrified me back to life.
Oh.
He used lightning and they conducted through there to reignite my brainwaves.
Oh, that's smart.
Yes.
Arnie, we should get a pair of those for you.
Yeah. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I need a recharge.
They work for hangovers. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah.
You zap those things again when you're feeling a little...
Oh, my, yeah. When I put down like 20 ales and then I'm like, and the next morning I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Get me to a lightning storm.
Speaking of which, during the break, you drank all the ales that you brought to the table. How about I'll get another round? I'll get a couple, actually, just so that we can have some as well.
Okay.
Right. I'll be right back.
Well, no! I just wanted to say...
Wait, no, Usidore, you don't want me to go?
I was just talking to No.
What?
You know what? Why don't you go over there and we'll take a quick break?
Wait, you're talking to who?
No!
What?
Let's take a break.
Hey, thank you for listening to Hello from the Magic Tavern. A great way to support the podcast is to join our Patreon. You'll get ad-free versions of our entire back catalog, including all the Magic Tavern spin-offs like Offices and Bosses, I Am Spin Tax, Shadow Sit. There are a lot of them. There are 2 new exclusive bonus episodes every month, Discord, all kinds of stuff. To get more information, go to patreon.com/Magic Tavern. That's patreon.com/Magic Tavern.
Well, while Arnie's getting us some more ales, I did want to bring this up in front of Arnie because he has a bit of a problem with red potion.
Ooh.
He's addicted to it. He can't have it.
Okay.
If you feel like, I understand you're a put-together person, you may be self-medicating somewhat, but if you feel like you really have a problem, you should speak to someone about that. I mean, what else is going on in your life other than, partying and getting drunk, You're working at the charity, but, No, I want to know more about you.
Oh. Well, that's, it's interesting because a lot of people don't want to get to know put together people too well because
They're terrifying.
Yeah, we're scary looking. I mean, there are scarier things out there, but we're pretty high up there.
Well, something I've noticed is, please take this as constructive criticism. Mm-hmm. Maybe don't approach small girls next to rivers.
Okay, yeah. Now that happened once. That's the funny thing about rumors. That happened once.
Now, I shouldn't do that. Arnie shouldn't do that. You definitely shouldn't do that.
Yes, no, I know. That happened once with one particular put-together person, and then it gets spread around that all put-together people do that, and that is not the case.
Well,
and I understand that would make people nervous, but that's not a real concern that people should have. I'll put that out there on this. Please, people, do not be concerned about us around your children. We do not care. We don't care about your kids. So I just want to put that out there.
Okay, well, forgive me for my ignorance. Now we're all learning together, and we're sharing this new knowledge with all of our listening audience. So that's a wonderful thing, I think.
All right, I'm back. Here's an ale for me, an ale for Usidore, and an ale, 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 and an ale for No!
Thank you.
No! There's a woman that just keeps staring at you from over there at the bar.
Now, let me ask this question. Mm-hmm. Is it a stare of, interest or a stare of fear?
That's a good question.
This is the hardest thing about me meeting people. I know you asked if I was seeing someone, and I am dating, mm-hmm. but it is hard because you don't know if it's someone who's just, really interested in your parts or if they're, frightened for looking at you,
Yeah.
Well, you hope if you're dating someone that they're interested in your parts.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I know that Arnie, you had mentioned that you wanted to know what I was thinking when we were going to talk about the bolts. Yes, you had mentioned that. I was thinking that you were going to ask about my penis.
Oh, well, we would never.
That's one of our standard questions, Arnie.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
Because that's one thing that people are always like, did it come with the pelvis and the whole part together, or is it a different part?
Where's the seam at, as they say?
Is it like one shaft, different head?
That's inappropriate.
Oh, sorry.
I really think you've got to stop. I mean, I know you don't know,
apologize.
but there's a little bit that. Thank you. But yes, that's what I thought we were going to talk about.
Well, since you brought it up,
mm-hmm.
What's going on down there?
Well, okay. This is something that I've been working on as a put-together person, is that I went through a long period of time where I kept replacing it because I was never happy with it. I was like, oh, this one's too small, this one's big, but it's too crooked. This one is just a little, I don't like the color. Mm-hmm. Then I had to just stop and take a step back, which is hard because of my 2 big feet, and literally be okay with whatever part I had, because I could continue this cycle forever and ever and ever and ever, and then just never be happy with what I actually have.
Yeah.
Right.
Have you considered starting its own spin-off charity, like Grab a Groin or something like that?
Well, no, I haven't actually.
I hate that name, but well, I have to say, I forgot one of our other standard questions too. You may not know the answer to this since you don't remember your past lives.
Yes.
Uncle, dead or alive?
I do know this one because I do get a flash every once in a while of a man who does not look like he could have been my father, but has more of an uncle quality. When you look at somebody, you're like, that's more of an uncle.
Probably a mustache.
Yes, there's definitely a mustache. Definitely just a little more frumpy of a guy, and I've seen him in my visions falling off a cliff, so he's dead.
Oh, okay. Dead uncle, great.
Dead uncle, yes.
Yeah, that woman won't stop staring over here.
I know. I would say not horrified, but just a kind of disbelieving, I've just seen a ghost kind of look on her face.
Okay, I know what's happening.
What's that?
She may have known one of my parts previously before I was put together.
Like that jacked arm?
It could be the jacked arm, could be the face. 9 times out of 10, it's the face.
Yeah, although that arm is jacked in a weird way, and it's got an anchor tattoo on it.
Yeah.
That says Samantha.
She could know me from that. And that could be Samantha. I don't know. But I don't know.
It's also, there's a lot of rings on those fingers.
Oh, those are mine.
Though you added those.
Yeah, those I add. I do. I really like jewelry. You can even see I'm wearing. I have a couple necklaces on. It's the only thing I can really accessorize. Every once in a while, I'll put a ring on my bolt.
Oh, that's fun.
That's nice.
Yeah, a couple. Yeah, just to like, if I'm going out on the town, I'll put a couple rings on my bolts and, yeah.
Does the woman at the bar?
Excuse me.
Oh,
Oh, hello. Oh, it's a woman. It's the woman from the bar.
yeah, we all know that. We know.
I'm sorry to ask, but are you Richard?
No, I'm Arnie.
No, I'm not talking to you.
Oh, sorry.
Are you Richard Peterson?
Oh my God.
She might recognize your butt.
My last name is Peterson.
Okay.
Have we met?
I think you might be my ex-husband, but he died, and he owed me a lot of money.
Oh, how much money?
5,000 gold.
Oh, would love overcome that debt?
Snap! Oh no! God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hey, hang on. This could be all right. Let me go through her papers here real quick. Oh, good. She's a limb donor. This is perfect for the podcast
This is
today.
perfect for the charity.
So all those limbs are going to go to a good host. It all worked out. Everyone's happy in the end.
Yes. Sorry about that. Sorry.
How does that work when you owe money from a past life? Do you kind of get a reset when you're reborn?
I don't think any of that carries over. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry. There's a thing that happens. There's certain situations where I do just snap.
And then you say snap.
Yes, and then I snap someone's neck. Yeah, it that must have come from a previous life, or just the electricity in my brain, or it might be the 17 beers I've had.
That's probably not helping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, you're saying that this isn't the first time this has happened?
Well,
No.
it happens sometimes. It is something that put together person has to deal with.
She had papers that said she's a limb donor and she's willing to give up all these limbs. So we'll read the details of her papers closely by getting a torch here and looking closely at the details. So I've got a big... What's wrong? I just have a big torch here that I'm holding. You don't like the torch? What's wrong with the torch? Okay, all right.
This is upset.
I'll put it back.
So, wow.
Put it back.
I'm sorry.
Everything's all right.
I can't. That is you are lucky that I just recently snapped, because that could have been another snap situation. But since I did it just recently, didn't have as much endorphins. But that is just never bring a torch around a put together person, please.
Okay, sorry.
Excuse me, I'm Scrim. I've been your server this evening. My shift is over. I'd hate to do this. You're in no hurry to leave, but if you could just cash out now, here's your bill for the drinks that you owe so far.
Thank you, Scrim.
Thank you, Scrim.
How much do we owe here?
Oh, just about 12 gold.
I have a question. Does Scrim always work here? Do you know him? Has he been around a lot?
I've never seen Scrim before in my life.
I've never seen Scrim before.
Okay. Snap!
Wow.
It's 12 gold. I was going to pay it.
I just didn't want to snap somebody that actually has been around a lot.
I understand that, but it was my treat.
Look, first of all, I don't condone anything you've done, but I will say I appreciate that you checked in to see if it was a beloved character.
Yes, of course.
Okay, let me check his papers. He's not an organ donor, so...
Well, just I can fix that. I can fix that with the little piece of paper here that we had for Arnie to sign. I'm just gonna put Scrim.
Okay, that seems unethical, but you know how the law works, I guess. I don't. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a wizard. Although I did act as a lawyer a couple weeks ago, didn't I?
If you have lawyer questions, I am the greatest lawyer in all of Foon.
Yeah, is that legal, what he just did? Can he just sign something for Scrim posthumously?
I'll say yes.
Okay, great. It all worked out.
I do have a question for you, Arnie. If my neighbor's dog is pooping on my lawn, Do I have any recourse? Can I snap him?
Just snap him, not even his neck.
No, just yeah. I mean, would that get me in trouble?
I'm afraid I don't practice law, so I don't exactly know.
Okay.
I don't know about that one. I'm guessing it's probably okay if it's your lawn.
Okay, yeah, it's my property.
Did you try before that yelling at the dog, "Get off my lawn"?
The dogs just bark at me and don't leave. They don't like put together people, so they just bark.
Do animals in general dislike you, like sort of sense you're an unnatural thing?
Yes, they have an inherent sense that I am not right.
Yeah.
Conflicting odors, probably.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh shit, did 7 people just walk up to me?
Although, if the animal knew one of the pieces of the put-together person, that animal would be friendly towards that, at least that part.
Oh, well, that's nice. That's something.
So hopefully it's a hand so you can pet him.
Do you have a favorite part of yourself?
Yes, I do. I have a favorite part that and this is the thing where I've learned I can't choose my parts. I need to fall in love with my parts. Mm-hmm. I've got to say that my calves are my favorite part of my body, because whoever they're from the same person. They were a runner, I'll tell you that much, because they are in shape, and I don't do anything to them, but they stay in shape, and no flesh has fallen from these things. These puppies have maintained.
Well. Excuse me, I'm looking for my brother Scrim.
Snap.
Okay.
Shit! You killed beloved character Scram.
Oh, wait, was that a beloved character?
Scram's been on every episode for the last 4 years.
We'll go back and edit him out. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll edit those old episodes. Don't worry about it.
I should have put together that the brother he's been looking for years was Scrim, who we just saw.
Oh, no. Guys, I really feel like I might be having a snap attack. And because I feel like I really just... I don't want to snap either of you.
No, please don't.
I'd like to see you try.
Well, would you really?
Well, I'm a wizard. Good luck.
Well,
yeah.
I'm not. And by the way, I have nothing against you. Arnie has made some off-color jokes, so I'm hoping that he doesn't do another one.
Yeah.
And I don't want to snap anybody else. Okay.
Arnie, have you been on all the episodes?
Not all of them.
Okay.
The only person that's been on every episode is Chunt.
Until now.
Actually, he's missed some too.
Chunt sounds like a real asshole.
Everyone agrees that that's definitely the truth, so that's fine.
So I'm glad he's not here, because I feel like of any of you guys, I probably would have snapped him.
Saved his life by not having him here.
Well, we're very glad that you were able to come on and tell us all about your charitable work, and we'll clean up these bodies, I guess, which seems to be a recurring theme of the show lately. And we'll have to have you back sometime. Let us know how many limbs you're able to garner during this charitable season.
And if anybody wants to just donate money or time to the charity, they can visit my website, which is where the spiders live. Above my door, there's a box. There's a box above my door that you can put the money in.
Have you considered putting that box other places?
I put it a little lower, personally.
But I don't want people to steal from it, so if somebody's going to put something into it, I think that they will get the stool or something to put it in there.
People tend to be more motivated to give money than to steal money.
Yeah, so that's why the box is above my door, right by my website.
Okay, well, everyone go to NOOOO's website and leave some money in the box.
And thank you so much for having me. I'm sorry I killed 3 people.
Yeah.
Any chance I get to let people know a little bit more about put together people, and that they shouldn't be scared of us at all. We're just like every other person.
This interview might be counterproductive to that cause.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's go through it real quick. Ex-wife, asking for money. Justifiable snap?
That's a snap, right?
Scrim and Scram, beloved characters from the podcast. That's a little dicier.
That was,
Excuse me, I'm here to clean up all the bodies.
Oh my God, please, everyone, I gotta go.
Scrub, are you here to clean all the bodies up?
And also, I'm looking for my cousins.
I don't want to do this. Can I have your broom?
Sure.
Snap! I just snapped the broom.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
The bloom is the source of my life essence. Ugh.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Well-established piece of canon that the broom was the life essence of Scrub.
Only thing keeping him alive.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know there was a spell.
Literally unkillable otherwise.
That's all right. Hey, I would say this to you, no. Perfectly indicative of your journey. Progress, not perfection.
Thank you.
And if we're talking about this podcast, maybe not even progress. Never forget, we have 3 choices in life: perfection, progress, or podcasts. Usidore the Wizard was played by Matt Young. No! Peterson was played by special guest John Lutz. Mr. Lutz's career peaked with his portrayal of meddling millionaire Charles Benbroge in the improvised police procedural Cuffs at the I.O. Theater in Chicago circa 2002. To see John's current, derivative work, check out The Maplewood Murders on Roku, which he co-created with AP Bio and Girls 5 Ever gem Paula Pell. Hello from the Magic Tavern is an independent production, made possible by supporters of the Magic Tavern Patreon. Supporters like Richard Pugh, Brian Kelty, Eligio, Matthew Zamsky, Adam B., Ash Alexander, Biggs Fuchikos. Oh hey, nice work threading the stone needle in Beggar's Canyon. Could come in handy someday. Alicia, Alex Carnahan, Becca the Giraffe Evans, T, Jeff Forsey, Robin Holmes, and Anisha. Patrons get ad-free episodes, the entire back catalog including all the previous spin-offs, and at least 2 new bonus episodes each month. To learn more about supporting the show, visit patreon.com/Magic Tavern. Hello from the Magic Tavern is produced by Arnie Niekamp, Matt Young, and Adal Rifai. Post-production coordination by Garrett Schultz. Associate producer Anna Havermann. This episode edited by Tim Joyce. Hello from the Magic Tavern logo by Allard Laban. Magic Tavern theme by Andy Poland.